Welcome back to another episode of Win-Loss Record, where I take a good road deck and make it a lot worse by having me pilot it. Today we are carrying on with our Dino deck into week 3. We currently have a win-loss ratio of 7 wins and 3 losses. Hopefully we can make that into over 10 wins this week, because that means that we cannot go negative for the month, which would be fantastic. We've got 5 games to play today. Each of them, some of them are quite long, so it's going to be a little bit of a longer episode. And yeah, with that, let's get into the first duel. Alright, so with this first opening hand here, there's not a massive amount that we can do despite the fact that we're going first. We can Soul Eating Oviraptor and grab the Misc. But then I'm just going to set the Imperm and pass and just hope that it is enough to be able to work against this opponent. And as you can see, we have Centurion in front of us, which is interesting to say the least. And then suddenly we have Blackwings. Alright, Centurion Blackwings that we're going against, which I guess makes sense, like the Dark Synchro monsters still, so it does make a lot of sense. They're going through a bunch of Centurion plays, not really covering the Blackwing element of things. Just going into the Legacia here. Battle phase, over the top of us, taking us down. I feel like he probably could have got a little bit more out of that and maybe gone for an OTK. But we got a little bit lucky here. We can summon the Pankratops out. We have to pop it straight away in order to be able to, so it avoids being popped. Which is a little bit unfortunate. But it does mean that we do get an extra body in the graveyard to be able to get our Baby Ceresaurus from the Misc out. Animadorned Archosaur can then pop the Babysaurus and we can start going in for some plays. The Auxiliary gets summoned here, but we're going to be able to go through quite a bit of this combo without too much issue. We get interrupted plenty of times with various summonings from the back row and things like that. Managed to get Link Karibo out here, and then we go into our SP Little Knight. SP Little Knight is going to banish the Legacia. And then we are going to just summon out the Ultimate Conductor Tyranno, turn everything face down, head into the battle phase, and start attacking over the opponent's monsters. Nice and straightforward. SP Little Knight can't attack because it's used its ability this turn, and we go on to the opponent's turn, where he's going to summon a couple of times. We pop them straight face down using our Ultimate Conductor Tyranno's effect. Grab the Oviraptor for some more follow-up plays this turn. Use the Misc effect, and then summon the Misc, and then just enter into the battle phase. Just attack over the opponents and attack for game. So we start off with a win, which is fantastic. Really glad to be starting off with a win against that. A little bit of a hybrid. They didn't really go in for the Blackwing plays in that one, so they weren't getting their full use out of their deck, admittedly. We're going second on this one here, and again, we got a decent one where we can just kind of max C. And the Ash Blossom's the max C, so I'm going to fire off the Imperm straight away here, and just Imperm so that he can't get that extra search with a Luba here. And then he is just going to pass turn here with only his Kashtira and his Aluba on the field, and that doesn't give a whole lot that he can do for me. So we can Fossil Dig. We Fossil Dig for the Oviraptor, and then send the Misc so that we're protected, and he just scoops straight away as soon as he realises that there's nothing that he can do against me right here. So yeah, just wanted to show that one. Second win under the belt. Happy with that. We're going first in this third duel here, and it's not a good hand. It's not a good hand. We just set one pass, which is a little bit unfortunate, and it gets Lightning Storm straight away, which is absolutely wonderful. Just what we wanted. Yeah, it's just exactly what we needed from this deck. He goes for the Triple Tactics talent, and it doesn't manage to pull off all that much with his turn. It is Sky Striker that we're playing against, though. So Sky Striker, just known for just like sticking around, becoming a real nuisance. And he also, because he's only got the one link on the field, it does neuter my Ultimate Conductor Tyranno a little bit when we eventually get around to being able to summon that out. It is going to not have too much of an effect because of its being Sky Striker and a pure link deck. So we're going to go for the Dragonic Diagram plays here. We've got True King Lithosogem here. We're getting the extra pops for the True King. True King is affected by other things, so he does negate that, but it doesn't do anything. We go into the Baron. And Baron just to negate that as well whilst we're here. Summon out the Ultimate Conductor Tyranno. But unfortunately, I did not realise. I thought, right, okay, I'm going to be able to attack over this monster and go in for game. But I didn't realise it was going to survive the attacks, which is awful for me. We go into an Appaloosa, feeling at least we can do some negates potentially of monster effects if we want to. So, during the opponent's turn, he's just going to go in for his spell cards, which means that Appaloosa didn't get to do anything. It gets popped really early, along with the Dragonic Diagram as well, gets popped. And gradually we're losing, well, we were losing attack points on our monsters, which sucked. Of course, the Baron has already used all of its effects as well. He yoinks my Ultimate Conductor Tyranno as well, which... don't appreciate that. Don't steal my monsters, please. Links it off, and then links that off into another Sky Striker ace. Which, yeah, this is just difficult to get over. Just difficult to get over, unfortunately. And then he's going to use the effect of his spells to be able to just set a full back row. Which is going to be difficult to play through. We don't have a whole lot that we can do here. We just have to set down one and pass. Set down a Animator and Archosaur and pass. Which just allows him to go in for plays, unfortunately. We summon out the Link Karibo just in case we can reduce something to 0. I don't think it's going to matter all that much now. We get stolen off us once more and then sent to the graveyard. Allowing him to just continue. Look at the size of the hand that he's got. And he's building his life points up at the same time. So, this is looking like a wash already. It's just looking like a problem the entire time. He's just able to keep comboing. Sky Striker is such a good deck. It's such a good deck. It's something that I really want to build myself at some point. Links it off again. So he's back where we started. And we're in dire straits with only 600 life points and not a whole lot that we can do here. We do use Misk, and then we can use Misk to banish 4. He max Cs. And then protects his Sky Striker monster. We get the Soul Eating Oviraptor out and the Kaitop Terror. Pop the baby Cerosaurus. And go in for the Xenometeorus. But it's... essentially, it's still looking difficult, even though we're managing to combo off here, because that monster is protected from being destroyed or anything like that. We couldn't do anything there. We can't hit over it. So he's allowed to carry on going in for his plays. If it wasn't for the fact that that monster was protected all of the time, then I think we'd have been able to do a little bit more here. Every single spell card that he's going to activate, he's gaining 100 life points back. We bring back the Gigantozauler. But it gets negated, unfortunately, so we don't get the pop off it, which sucks. And with that, he's just going to keep gaining those life points back. We are only on 600 life points. We've not got much to be going through here. And hopefully, yeah, there we go. There's the Dark Hole. Uses the Pot of Avarice to pop things back into the deck, because he is running low on cards, actually. He's running very low on cards in his deck. At this point, I was just hoping, but it was not to be. It was not to be. So we do lose that one, meaning we've got a 2-1 record on today's episode so far. On to the next one, though, where we are once again going second. And we've got a bit of a hand, not much of a hand. Enough that we can at least stop a little bit going on. So we are playing against some Light Sworn. And this is a mixture of a deck here. So we've got Light Sworn. We've got zombie vampires here. We've got T-Elements. I do imperm the zombie vampire because I don't want him to go into T-Element plays. But unfortunately, because of the Light Sworn, he's got some Crystal Beast in there. He's got all sorts going on in this deck. But it just comes up with such a powerful board by the end of it. The combo here just goes on and on. I actually thought that he might time out whilst he was doing this particular combo because it seemed to take forever as I was playing against it. But here we go, he's summoning back and then synchroing off into a Minerva synchro. He's summoning back and then he's going to Xyz into the Minerva Xyz monster. And then links off for an AP Masquerainer, and then links those off for an Appaloosa, Visas. He's got all sorts going on in this deck. There's so much going on. I'm really glad that I didn't get a Max C off, because I feel like I would have lost a deck out. Jagares the Timeless allows him to skip his next main phase 1 to summon a monster back. He's then going to Fairy Tail Snow. He's extending hard here. Into the Borrelode Savage, use Borrelode Savage to bring back the IP Masquerainer, which is going to give him another negate. So essentially, I've got so much that I need to play through here. And it just doesn't look possible. But we do Fossil Dig, grab the Misk, which gets immediately Appaloosid. We're again going to use Animadorned Archosaur, who gets Appaloosid. We're going to banish the Misk, who gets Appaloosid. Kaitop Terror Special Summon. So we have used all of the Appaloosa effects now, at least. And we can go into an SP Little Knight. We're going to SP Little Knight against the Borrelode Savage. That then gets negated. So yeah, a little bit unfortunate. We attack over the Appaloosa just so that he hasn't got that Link monster on the field. But it just leaves us with only 500 attack Baby Ceresaurus on the field. I knew that he couldn't do much in terms of going in for game because his main phase 1 was being skipped. So I just went in for that. He goes into his own SP Little Knight here. And summons back a massive board. And it just, I don't have the cards to be able to do anything against this. He negates the Soul Eating Oviraptor. I attack over the SP Little Knight because that is all I can do. And then I go into my end phase, which is just going to allow him to just clear up straight away and go in for game. So yeah, bit of a sucky ending to that one. His board was just insane. I managed to play through quite a lot of it, but it just ended up being slightly too many. I think I might have been alright if he didn't have the trap card set and I'd used one of his Borrelode negates potentially, but nah, it looked like a really hard one to win here. So we're into our final game. He's Ash Blossomed our Soul Eating Oviraptor straight away. And we're going to go into the True King and just end on an SP Little Knight pass. It's not a great board by any means, but it might do a little bit of something here. So, he goes in for the Mathmech plays. And yeah, I wasn't really sure. I don't know Mathmech too well. I didn't really know when to go in for the banish of anything here. Nothing looked particularly scary here. So I'm just letting him run through his plays a little bit more. And as he starts going into his Link plays, I'm thinking, well, maybe if I banished one of his sort of big Link monsters that he goes into. So he brings out the Access Code Talker. And I realise at this moment he's got nothing which can stop me from banishing. So it just allows me to survive this turn at least. So I was happy with that. We bring back those, and he's not got a high attack power on this Access Code Talker, nor has he got any negates on the field. So he does get a Max C, but my plan here is to hopefully try and finish him off this turn. That would be ideal for me anyway. So we do manage to get out an Animadorned Archosaur. He's got nothing that's stopping us here. So we can just keep going in for various things. We've got Link Haribo out here. popping babies to summon babies. We've got the pop of the Dino Wrestler Pancratops to get rid of the access code talker. We can shuffle back in using Nightmare Unicorn, but he does have the Super Factorial, of course, which allows him to go straight into his Xyz. He hand rips us, and he sends the Nightmare Unicorn. That's not too much of a problem, because it wasn't going to be an issue for us. He knows to avoid the dinosaur monsters, apparently, but we go in for the Ultimate Conductor Tyranno, send everything face down, and then start swinging. And I believe that this is enough for the game. It absolutely is. So, we end this week with a 3-2 win-loss record, giving us a total of 10-5 for the month so far, which I'm really impressed with. I'm happy with that. So we cannot go negative. We can only draw now. So that's really important. If you have enjoyed this, please do subscribe, and I'll see you next time.